Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.
Good evening and welcome to Aging Matters. This is a program that is provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet and I'm the Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. Our show this evening, we have two special programs that I would want to share with the audience. We have a Safe Return program and Project Lifesaver. There are two special programs that are available to folks in the community. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guests. We're going to start to my far left. Kellie Butsack is the Associate Director of Programs for the Alzheimer's Association of Delaware Valley Chapter. And welcome, Kellie. And next to me is Captain Tim Moore with the Berks County Sheriff's Office. And welcome, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to start because I think that these are great programs, particularly things that are happening as we age and as it relates to wandering and needing to be relocated and brought back home, as it were. And one of the things that I did want to start out by reading was something that was brought to me by the Alzheimer's Association. And I would just like to read this for a sentence here. So to prepare for the expected, which I think is interesting, it's common for a person with dementia to wander and become lost, unfortunately, and many do so repeatedly. In fact, 6 out of 10 people with dementia will wander at some point during the course of the disease. So with that in mind, our two programs that we're going to talk about are related to that. So I would like to start first with Kellie. And the special program that we're going to talk about first with you, Kellie, is the Safe Return program. So let's talk a little bit about what is it. Obviously, I'm just calling it Safe Return, so it helps to somebody, with it kind of says what it might be. Mm-hmm. But tell us kind of the roots of the Safe Return program, and then go right into a little bit about what is it, how does it work?
Okay.
What's the setup of it?
Sure. Well, Safe Return actually was started by a partnership, really, with the Alzheimer's Association and the U.S. Department of Justice back in 1993. So this is the 25th year of the program. In that 25 years, we've safely returned, to use that phrase, over 17,000 individuals that have wandered. So it's got a good track record and a proven track record. And of course, it was came into being because of those statistics and because we know that 6 of 10 individuals who have a dementia or Alzheimer's diagnosis are going to wander. And that simply means they leave their home. They leave their place of residence, whether it be a private home, a facility, wherever. And they wander away, and because of the disease, they often cannot find their way back, and they become lost or go missing. Okay. So Safe Return actually is part of Medic Alert.
Oh,
so I think most people are familiar with the Medic Alert
Yes.
bracelet that people wear for different medical conditions. So in the case of dementia, the Safe Return jewelry would indicate on the back that the person is memory impaired.
Okay.
And I have it sitting here on the counter. You can see it. It's the typical Safe Return bracelet. There's also a pendant option that the person can purchase. Safe Return serves two purposes. Number one, when someone is reported missing or even reported found, sometimes a person is wandering and someone finds them and calls the number. So whether they are reported missing or they are reported to be found, when Medic Alert gets that call, then Safe Return activates a protocol. So whether it be, if the person is missing, it's a search and rescue protocol. So Medic Alert will contact local law enforcement, local search and rescue. Our local chapter staff will get involved in terms of what our local chapter staff do is we serve as liaisons and provide emotional support to the family. So we'll touch base with the family periodically during the situation. We'll touch base with the police and get status updates on the search and provide that back to the family. So our local chapter staff serve as liaisons during the situation or the incident.
Okay.
And the second purpose, so that's the first purpose of Safe Return is to find that person and safely return them home, and to engage the search and rescue process. We also reach out to local hospitals, make sure there weren't any John Does brought in,
Sure.
or all those different processes that are involved. The second purpose of Safe Return is when someone enrolls in Safe Return, we create in a national database, we create a physical and medical profile for
That's
the person.
what I was going to ask. How do I know? You can't just
Exactly,
say.
right. So when a family
Okay.
enrolls their loved one, the information that they're providing to Medical Alert is physical description, height, weight, eye color, hair color, and when they call to report the person missing, they'll say, well, he was wearing his brown jacket, or he was wearing,
Okay.
any details about the person.
I'm assuming too they can put
Right.
somewhere that they can say his nickname is.
Right.
He
Yep.
usually is called
Exactly.
this, even though his name is that.
Right. What
so
will
that
you
would
respond
help.
to?
Yes.
And-
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So they provide that information to the database. More importantly, they provide emergency medical information. So obviously the person has dementia, if the person has a
Sure.
diagnosis of dementia, do they also have heart disease, diabetes, epilepsy, what else do they suffer from? What allergies do they have? What medications do they take? Information that first responders need to know in a situation or in an emergency situation. So, because oftentimes the person, again, because of the disease, the person with dementia can't tell you, oh, I didn't take
Absolutely.
my insulin
Right.
before I left.
Yes.
Or I did, they can't tell
Yes.
you their condition. So it's important, if a person is missing or they're in a car accident, whatever the emergency situation might be, if a first responder has to treat that person on scene, they need to know he's allergic to ibuprofen, don't administer that. Or they need to know that personal medical information. So all of that is captured as part of the Safe Return process and the profile that is created in the database. So if an incident occurs, even
Yes.
if it's someone has gone missing,
Right. So a step by step. So.
right, we have that profile. So as soon as the person is reported missing, Safe Return or Medical Alert sends out that profile page to law enforcement.
Okay.
So we have that profile
Okay.
on that person, so it helps with the process. So that's the two purposes that Safe Return
I'm going to back up
serves.
one quick. So if I'm the person that I discovered that a spouse or the person I'm giving care is missing, I call
Medical Alert.
the Medical Alert. So I would
Yes.
have that information, that number I want to keep
Absolutely.
handy, somewhere
when someone-
special or important, so it's
Yeah.
not put in my junk drawer or
Right, yeah.
some other place that I can get to quickly, and then follow that number on the Medical Alert, and then it goes into
Yeah,
that.
when someone,
Okay.
now people can call our organization to get information on Safe Return for help with the enrollment process. But once they're enrolled, everything goes through Medical Alert.
Got it.
Through that national
Okay.
database.
Okay.
And there is, when someone enrolls, there are fees. When someone enrolls, they get a welcome packet, they get the jewelry, they get a wallet card, they get additional
Okay.
information as part of the program.
Okay.
And there is an enrollment fee
Okay.
for Safe Return. It's $55 enrollment fee,
enroll,
and then there's an annual renewal fee that the person pays as long as they are living, in the database. One of the unique features of Safe Return, in terms of all the different programs that Medical Alert has, one of the unique features of Safe Return is that caregivers can also get jewelry. And the reason that's
Okay.
important is if a caregiver is taking their loved one with dementia to a doctor appointment and they are involved in a traffic accident, and the caregiver
Yes.
is unresponsive or cannot
Communicate.
communicate, if they have the caregiver jewelry, then the first responders know that the person who is with them has dementia and cannot be left unattended.
Okay.
Or, that they can't say to them, okay, we're going to take
Yeah.
your wife to the
Yeah.
hospital, you drive yourself home.
Yeah. Okay.
So they know that person
Oh,
needs
that's
assistance.
great. Okay.
So that's an extra, like an added
Okay.
feature that caregivers can do in that program.
And so So I've been a person who called medical alert. The profile was all ready because we were enrolled, and that goes out to law enforcement, everybody, and then they're out there looking for that individual. And you said the Alzheimer's Association folks, staff are also being there as liaisons to maybe call or receive calls coming in. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
All righty. And I can call you at the Alzheimer's Association to get more information about how to enroll, the enrollment papers? How
Yes.
can I get, is there an
Yeah,
application?
certainly.
or-
Certainly
Okay.
without bogging people down with a lot of numbers and different
Yes,
things.
exactly.
They can call us first.
Okay.
We can provide an enrollment brochure. They can enroll by brochure, mailing it
okay.
in.
Okay.
They can enroll online directly. They can enroll by phone by calling Medical Alert. So we can certainly refer them to the different
Okay.
options on how to get enrolled.
And certainly can call the Alzheimer's Association to ask more questions
Right.
about
We
the
can explain the
program.
program
And,
and-
let me
right.
make sure I understood this correctly, and how do I pay the fee, and those types of things.
Yes.
And I want to ask, so that is there other, you wanted to mention something else, I believe, Kelly, as we slightly get over through Medical Alert, the LEAP program. Do you want to say something about that quickly?
Yeah, briefly, I will mention that as part of our safety, Safe Return is part of our safety services through the association.
Okay.
And it's just one of the programs. We also, if there are any first responders watching tonight, we also have first responder training. We have law enforcement training. I've done trainings over the years with Shillington and Cymru Police and down in Exeter. So we have local trainings. And the LEAP program is actually the Medical Alert Law Enforcement, let me make sure I get it right, Law Enforcement Agency Portal. So law enforcement departments or agencies can actually enroll in Medical Alert through this LEAP program, and then if an individual in their community needs this program, if they go to their police department and they enroll through the police department's LEAP portal, they can actually be enrolled for free.
Oh, great.
So their local law enforcement, if the law enforcement
Okay.
department is enrolled, is
Okay,
part of the program.
participating in that.
Is participating, right.
Okay.
So there is a LEAP program that subsidizes the cost or does away with the cost if the person registers
Okay.
with their local law
Oh,
enforcement.
terrific. Good. Thank you. I'm glad we had a minute to mention that. I think we'll move on now to our second program, which is Project Lifesaver. And before I cut back to Captain Moore, I wanted to again read something else that came in. This was in local agency news in November of 2017, and it said that in September, the Associated Press reported that a 77-year-old woman with Alzheimer's disease had been found dead about 2 miles from the Pennsylvania nursing home where she had been reported missing the month prior. And certainly it sheds some sad light on that situation, but the fact that Project Lifesaver may have been able to help that individual had they been part of that program, and maybe that would not have been a tragic ending. So coming back now to Captain Moore, I wanted to have you share a little bit again about Project Lifesaver, again, the background briefly about it, its purpose, etc. And then again, how does it work? And I guess what we also want to see is what might be the differences or the complements. Both programs are really special and good, and I think available. So how they might differ or obviously are similar in terms of all we want to do is have the person return home safe. So I'm going to
Okay.
turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. There is a lot of similarities hearing
Okay.
Kelly talk in the process. Project Lifesaver was started in Virginia by a sheriff's deputy who saw a need for a better way of finding lost people, autistic, Alzheimer, dementia people. The Berks County Sheriff's Office has been doing it for about 10 years now.
Okay.
We're actually partners with Project Lifesaver because everything gets entered into their database.
Okay.
What it is a proactive electronic tracking device. It's radio telemetry, radio signals. It's not GPS. We don't use satellites. I have a sample here.
Okay.
This is the transmitter. It goes on the client's wrist or ankle. And then this device here, we pick up the radio signal, we can go to a mile away. It's just like if you saw some animal shows where they're looking for an elk or a bear that has a collar on. It's the exact same process.
Okay. So let's talk then again step by step. So I'm assuming there's an enrollment kind of similar situation
Yes.
to enroll. But this actually, who can be enrolled is more, I don't want to say comprehensive, that's not the right word, expanded beyond somebody, we typically think somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia as an older adult, and they don't have to be. But this project or this program is really not just limited to that, right?
Correct. I'd say better than 50% of our clients are children with autism.
Oh, okay.
Even into adult teens, even early 20s with autism. We presently have about 50 clients
Okay.
in the program.
Okay.
Again,
So
a
it's
lot of them.
anybody with any condition that might cause them to need to leave someplace and be
Right.
lost
The
then.
wander is the key word. Do they
Okay.
wander? If they're just autistic and don't wander, they don't really qualify.
Okay.
But you almost have to give an incident where they wandered and you couldn't find
Mm-hmm.
them. We have one of my sergeants. You fill out an application.
Okay.
You call me for it. I'll send one out to you. They're not on the website. My sergeant will come out and interview you and the family or the dwelling or the caretaker of the person.
Okay.
If everything passes, we get a device on them, the end of the program. My deputies come out once a month or every 60 days, depending what the transmitter, the original transmitters were 30 days, the newer ones
Oh,
are 60
okay.
days.
Okay.
They come out and change the battery in it
Oh,
for
wow.
free.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets entered into the Project Lifesaver database, the client. It also, Berks County Radio gets a complete list of all our clients, all the radio signals, what jurisdiction they live in. I send something to every police department that client lives in. If the client moves, I send another email out that this client, Project Lifesaver client, has moved.
Is there any also profile information when somebody's filling out the enrollment form or application?
Yes, ours is about 3 pages, and it gets
Okay.
down to hair color, eye color, hobbies that they have. Are they afraid of dogs? Are
Oh,
they
that's
afraid of
great.
light? A lot of what she had on hers. Are they afraid of police or authority figures? And one thing we often see with the autistic ones is they're not afraid of anybody. And that's when they wander, they'll just walk away with a stranger.
Okay.
So if they're at the Kutztown Fair or
Yes,
Community Days or something,
yeah.
that's where we've had incidents where they've wandered and they turned their back for a second and they can't find them. Now, we have a protocol in place also. You call 911.
Okay.
They send the police out. If they're not found immediately, well, they also call us
Oh,
immediately.
so I enroll in the program. The individual's wearing that. You have that, I'll call it a profile, again, for lack of a
Yes.
better word, probably, that information. So if I am in a position that individual that's wearing that, I've turned my back and they've wandered off, I call 911. Is that the difference? Then I call 911.
Yes. You
all
try
right?
to find them if
Sure,
you're at a fair. You try
sure.
to, of course, you find them. You ask security. He wandered. He's
Sure.
wearing this jacket, whatever. If they cannot find him and in a reasonable amount of time, then you call us.
Okay.
They call 911 and they get the protocol going. They get
And
the
so then
police
there's
there.
a connection there, no
Yes.
matter who answers that, if I indicate that they're wearing this, and this,
They're
what
a
do I
project-
say?
You say they're a Project Lifesaver
Okay.
client.
All right.
And then they have our
Okay.
list on a database. And they pull that up for their information in case a police officer doesn't know about it.
Right.
So they'll tell him he's a Project Lifesaver. We're contacting the sheriff's department. And we send somebody out 24 hours a day. We have several of these devices in different cars in different departments.
Huh, okay.
Because
Wow.
we have people 24 hours in booking. They can come out in the middle of the night. I get notified. I'll be on the way.
So tell me, you have this device, this
Yes.
lovely gadget here. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well,
What
each
you do with that.
transmitter has its
Yeah.
own radio frequency.
Okay.
If I'm going to look for this person, I have to put the frequency in here.
Oh, okay.
That and
That
we
matches
don't
that?
and we can't crisscross frequencies. I don't put the same frequency within 10 miles of another frequency in that area. I have to really look at my list and make sure it's not the same. It could interfere with it.
Okay.
We can get this from the car, take this and drive in the car with an antenna on the car. Buildings do get in the way, hills get in the way. It's best to get to a high point and do a 360-degree.
Okay.
When we train our guys, we just take this and we go hide it somewhere and say, go find it. We give them a scenario like they like to go to the creek a lot.
I was gonna
and
say,
they
yeah,
were near a park and
okay.
they wandered away. So then they'll go to the creek and look and pick up the signal.
Okay.
It's amazing how we hide that little tiny thing and you can find
can
it.
find
The signal
it.
gets louder.
It's very
It's
strong.
a beep.
Okay. As it gets closer then?
As it gets closer, it gets louder. We can even go to another channel on it because it gets too loud for your headphones. So then it gets louder. When you get up on it, it's really loud.
All righty, and you have about 50 clients on this program
We have about 50
currently?
clients,
Okay.
and there is a fee for ours too. It's
Okay.
presently it's $312, but that's a one-time fee.
Oh, okay.
It's not every year. It's a one-time fee. There is in the contract. It'll say a $25 monthly battery fee. We take care of that.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
we just come out again. Some are 30 days, some are 60 days. I get notices from Project Lifesaver when there's 5 days coming up for a battery change, 24 hours for a battery change. And the deputies that are assigned to these clients also get that. So they're on their own to go change them. We have people on the
I
day shift,
see.
people on the night
Okay.
shift. But I'd say it's about 55-60% children, and then your dementia, Alzheimer, elderly.
And with that fee, is there a payment system, a payment plan that might be possible for those
Yes, when the
folks?
sergeant comes out and interviews you, if you need financial aid, he'll determine that.
Okay.
And he'll let me know, and I do have some financial aid available that I can help someone that can't afford it.
Great, super. Did you want to show, I'm not sure if we saw, did we have the emblem or logo? We had that, there we go.
There it is.
And that is what someone will see, that's part of what it identifies
Yes,
the
that's
project?
the
Okay.
symbol for Project Lifesaver. All of our
Okay.
station area has both our badge on it and that symbol.
Okay.
They are an international company now.
Oh.
They are all across
Wow.
America, and it says international. They're spanning into Europe now.
And my question then is, so is there a distance situation with this? If, somebody who's wearing this is living in one part of the county, they can go to the other part? It's
No,
just because it's all...
they just have to let me know they moved.
Okay.
And we've had people transfer in from other counties and other states. They'd have to give up their transmitter to that sheriff's department, and then I'd have to reissue
Okay.
them one. I
Okay.
can't use their signal here.
Okay.
I just reissue a new
But the signal's good
frequency.
for anywhere in Berks County?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So in case, although I live in this place, I'm out and about, we're shopping over here in this other end of the county when the situation occurs.
We also, if they're going on vacation and they let us know they're going to Wildwood, we
Yeah.
can let Wildwood know, police know, a Project Lifesaver client's coming down there.
Okay,
So if they
great.
wander on the beach and get lost, like some kids do.
That's great.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I guess they're down in that area too, so they're Project Lifesaver. I don't know if their sheriff's office runs it or not, but a lot of police departments run it across the country too.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yes.
great to know that you don't feel like you're stuck in a sense either, but are
No.
protected and safe. Any one other last in about a minute yet? Did you want to say anything that we didn't cover, or something that you feel is important to communicate to everybody?
I just want to stress that it's not GPS.
Okay.
It is radio telemetry. I've had phone calls about that. Can't you just find them on your laptop? No.
Okay.
No, there is probably systems out there like that. We also, when you do sign up for the program, we encourage people to put alarms on their doors and windows, or bells on their children, something
Okay.
that will make noise so that they can't just slip
We even
away.
hear that they might be leaving the
Correct.
home before anything has to be enacted. So there are some other resources that might be out there also that you can share when you're interviewing them, and I'm sure that Kellie has some other resources as well that can be offered to folks that are needing these services, as well as other services that are available through your agencies. In the minute we have, why don't you give us, how do I contact the sheriff's office or who
Okay.
there that I can reach if I want to get more information about the Project Lifesaver
You
program?
can contact me at 610-478-6240. I'm at extension 3214.
All righty, and that's Captain Moore of the Berks County Sheriff's Office. Kellie Butsack with the Alzheimer's Association. How can we get in contact with you?
Yes, any information on Safe Return can be found by calling our 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. It's a toll-free 24/7 number, 800-272-3900.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and sharing the two services that we have available for those folks. And stay tuned next month for Aging Matters.
Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.